Gravel Bike California here out in the Santa Monica Mountains. We're about to take on a portion of the Backbone Trail. Now the Backbone Trail is actually a 67-mile trail that connects from Point Mugu State Park all the way out to Will Rogers State Park in Pacific Palisades. You can't ride the entire trail on bike, but the one we're about to do today takes us out here from Encinal Canyon out to Circle X Ranch, which is about 10 miles. It's single track, which I'm not exactly adept at, but the portions that I have ridden before, even I can do. So let's go check it out. We started out at the Encinal Canyon trailhead on the north side of the street, which lies about a mile east of Highway 23, known as Decker Canyon. The first segment of our backmode adventure is only 1.2 miles until you reach the crossing at Mulholland. For starters, there's a few switchbacks to contend with as you wind your way up, but the fun of this section is that you can spin without ever coming close to being out of gears. The hills here are tight together, so views are limited at the beginning, but just wait. As you climb, you cross a bunch of these smaller trails. But as tempting as they look, they're not really ready for graveling. About halfway up, the slope flattens out, but you'll have some minor cliff hanging as you steer clear of the rocks. Turning north, the trail returns to some uphill and serpentine conditions, but the fun continues. As you make your way towards Mulholland, it's hard to believe it's only been about a mile's worth of riding, and you just pray for more. The next stretch of the Backbone Trail is 4.4 miles to Yerba Buena Road, but it's the first half of the segment that amplifies the good times. It starts out with almost 2.5 miles of single track as one of the best dirt sections of this kind you'll find around. Once again, it's a gentle climb that allows you to move at a pretty fun clip to enjoy all the properly rounded curves all the way up. Equally impressive is the condition of the trail, as it's one of the most finely groomed sections of single track you'll find in the Santa Monica Mountains. It's everything you want gravel to be, and I haven't even tried going down it downhill yet. If you take your eyes off the trail, the climb gets a tad disorienting as you're looking up the hill the whole time. But take a second glance down below to enjoy this trail even more. The fun ends as a single track merges onto a fire road, which is quite a contrast as the grades start off in the double digits. Right now we're on the Etsu Molloy Motorway, which is the connection you have after that last 2.2 segment of the Backbone Trail, which is just exquisite. I mean, I never even got into my highest gear, not even close. This is high skier, right? Yeah, that. But up here, yeah, the views are pretty amazing because you're really above a lot of stuff, and yeah, you can't get here by car. You can still enjoy the epic scenery as you meander on the motorway, but soon you'll find yourself on the opposite side of the ridge, getting some contrasting views of the secluded Hidden Valley and Lake Sherwood. Continuing on the Etsu Molloy Motorway, you get your first look at Sandstone Peak, the highest point in the Santa Monica Mountains, before turning back onto Backbone's single track. It's a little more than a half mile before you reach Yerba Buena Road, and staying on Etsu Molloy is still an option. You may prefer the latter because the single track gets a bit technical with some steep, slippery conditions. It's not really a problem until you make it your problem. After such a great start to the ride, you start to wonder, have I seen the best already? Well, that was a pretty fun climb up there on the motorway. The last half mile where we got back on the single track, I'll just say it was a little dicey. We're about halfway done with the ride and about to start our last segment, about 4.8 miles over to Circle X Ranch. If it's anything like the last half mile, this will probably take 4 hours. Okay. Starting off again, you're left to wonder what's ahead as the first third of a mile is occluded with foliage as you wind your way up. It's not that bad. You're just looking to find the bliss you found earlier. As the ride escapes along the ridge, it makes its transformation from manageable to majestic. All notes of civilization vanishes even further, as the scale of the landscape diminishes your size, only magnifying the beauty. All right, so we're about a mile in so far on our last segment. This is definitely far cooler than I thought. Had to bring Dick on camera because I have to apologize for all the bad segments that I've taken him on before.
Terrible.
Does this make up for it though?
100%. 100%. It's much more than makes up for it.
I was hoping 200%.
No, no such thing, but it's pretty spectacular, I would say.
As we got going, it was hard not to stop and talk with others sharing this awesome experience. It's oddly beautiful to ride this section of Backbone in winter with an overload of greenness from the seasonal rain while remnants of the Woolsey fire remain up close. We came across a small crew of forest workers who came down from Seattle doing great work to maintain the integrity of the trail. While I'm not a master of single track, this section is slightly more rocky and slippery than from those prime sections earlier, but still feasible for most skill levels. Still, riding up here feels more like gliding as you soar above the Pacific. As the landscape starts to take a drier tone, you near the top of this ridge as the downhill payoff soon presents itself. Once again, the ride gets a little more technical with the bumps and swoops blending in with your speed as you bite closer to the shadow of Sandstone Peak. It's fun roller coaster riding without paying admission, but eventually you know the end is near with one short climb out. Reaching Yerba Buena Road again, the Backbone Trail crosses over, but the next segment out to Danielson Ranch is for hikers only. Go west to enjoy getting into Grand Prix mode on this recently paved surface before stopping to grab some water and heading back. Wow. We've made it out to Circle X Ranch, which is about 1.5 miles off of where we exited the Backbone. But wow, that stretch was pretty awesome. Says this guy too. It's a little rocky in some places, but not bad if you have the right tire width, 38s and above, right air pressure. I mean, it's smooth, it's fun, not a lot of gear grinding, just wow. And the views up there, just amazing. This was just a little over 10 miles of pretty much dirt. If you have the chance to ride this segment of Backbone Trail from Encinal all the way to Yerba Buena. We're now in Ventura County, can you believe it? Gotta do it. Ride description will be below. Follow Gravel Bike California. You too.